The Day of the Dead, for the chosen ones, is a sacred occasion of deep connection with the ancestors, a moment when the veil between the worlds becomes thinner, allowing for a special communion. Honoring those who came before us goes beyond simple remembrance. It is a way of recognizing that their energies, memories, and wisdom are still alive, influencing our lives and guiding our steps. In each culture, the celebrations may differ, but the essence is the same. The chosen ones carry the spiritual legacies of their ancestors, welcoming not only their stories, but also their unfinished missions and blessings. This tribute, therefore, becomes a powerful spiritual bridge that strengthens the chosen one's purpose, reminding us that we are not alone on our journeys. Before you continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to receive content like this. In many African cultures, for example, it is believed that the dead have the ability to interact with the living, being invisible guardians who observe and sometimes intercede in our lives. For the chosen ones, these souls can serve as guides, helping them to overcome difficulties and pointing out paths in times of doubt. When food is offered and candles are lit, it is as if a sacred communion is created, a silent alliance between the living and the spirits, reinforcing that the chosen ones never walk alone on their journey. In the ancient Indian tradition, respect for the ancestors is so deep that it involves a series of rituals lasting days, where it is believed that souls cross challenging dimensions before finding peace. For the chosen ones, this passage represents not only a path to enlightenment, but an eternal cycle where each generation offers support and guidance to the next. This ritual highlights the importance of gratitude and spiritual giving, essential elements that strengthen the connection between the chosen ones and those who have gone before them. Among traditional Chinese, the balance between two souls, the spiritual and the animal, reveals the duality that each chosen one can face, the desire for transcendence and the reality of earthly needs. During these festivities, the practice of appeasing the lower souls and elevating the higher ones is a reflection of what each chosen one seeks within themselves, harmony and peace in order to walk with integrity and wisdom. In Japan, the Obon festival celebrates the temporary return of souls to the world of the living, where they are welcomed with joy and celebration. For the chosen ones, this is a lesson that the presence of ancestors is a cause for reverence and celebration. The dead are not only remembered, but honored, recognizing that their stories and deeds echo in the paths trodden by the living. It is a reminder that the chosen ones are an extension of a greater legacy, a manifestation of the hopes and dreams of those who came before. Halloween, celebrated in the United States, reflects a mixture of cultures and beliefs, where the veil between the worlds becomes thinner, and the chosen ones feel more intensely the presence of the forces that dwell among us. For the chosen ones, this is a time of introspection and spiritual protection, a time to reaffirm their connection with the divine and protect themselves from the disturbing influences that may arise. In Mexico, El Día de los Muertos carries an energy of celebration and joy, where the dead are remembered with colors, food, and laughter. For the chosen ones, this celebration reminds them that death is not a dark end, but a cycle of continuity and rebirth. The soul rejoices in the joy of the living, and the union between the worlds is a symbol that the chosen ones always walk with the support of a spiritual lineage. This period is therefore a vivid reminder to the chosen ones that the spiritual journey transcends time and space. The immortality of the soul is not just a distant belief, but a felt and lived reality, a presence that embraces and guides. In every corner of the world, in different ways, the chosen find strength and guidance in honoring the departed, knowing that they are part of something much bigger, a sacred lineage that stretches back through time and gives them purpose and direction. The Day of the Dead reminds us of a truth that surpasses human understanding, that the soul is eternal, that life continues far beyond what the eye can see. For the chosen ones, this celebration brings a special call to reflect on the mystery of existence, to realize that the journey does not end with death, but transforms into something purer and deeper. The soul knows no boundaries of time or space. It is energy that recycles itself, expands, and unites with the whole. Imagine a chosen young woman who, while preparing the altar for her ancestors, notices the subtle presence of her grandmother, someone with whom she has always felt a connection beyond words. She places a candle next to an old photograph, feeling that this flame represents the continuation of her grandmother's life. A reminder that, despite her physical absence, her spirit remains alive in her heart and in her mission. This young woman feels that her goal is to honor her grandmother and all her ancestors, because they live on through her, in every choice and every gesture. For her, the Day of the Dead is more than a ritual. It is a reaffirmation of the eternity of the soul and the commitment it carries to perpetuate this spiritual energy. For the chosen ones, this awareness of the eternity of the soul is something that sustains them. The idea that the spirit transcends the physical body helps them face the challenges of their mission, knowing that they are surrounded by the strength and presence of those who came before. Every candle lit, every offering placed on the altar is a reminder that death is not the end, but a new beginning, a return to what is eternal and divine. The longing we feel for the departed is a constant reminder that love is the link that unites us beyond time. For the chosen ones, this longing is not just a feeling, but a powerful energy that connects them to their ancestors and strengthens them on their journey. When we miss someone, it's as if we're calling them close to us, as if we're bringing their presence with us. One example is that of a man who, when setting up the altar for his deceased father, realizes that the bond between them has not been severed by death, but has, in a way, been intensified. Every time he lights a candle, he feels that his father is there, guiding him and offering him wisdom. This feeling of longing is a kind of presence, proof that true love is still alive and that the spirit of those we love is still by our side, like a force that sustains us. For the chosen ones, longing is a reminder that even if the physical body has gone, the essence of the person we love remains in our lives. This invisible presence is what helps them to carry on, to pursue their mission with courage, knowing that they are not alone. All Souls Day is the moment when this longing becomes a communion of souls, a meeting between the living and the dead, where everyone shares the same spiritual space. The body is the form the soul takes to experience the physical world, but it does not define our true essence. For the chosen ones, the body is just an instrument, a temporary tool that we use to fulfill our mission in this life. On the Day of the Dead, this understanding becomes deeper, because by honoring the ancestors, we realize that what really matters is the spirit, the energy that survives matter. A clear example of this perception can be found in a chosen one who, when remembering her great-grandmother, realizes that it's not her body she remembers, but the love she represented, the values she passed on. Her great-grandmother was a woman of strength, someone who looked after her family with dedication and who left a legacy of love and generosity. By making an offering to her, the chosen one feels that in some way she is keeping that energy alive, that her great-grandmother's spirit is present, guiding her. For the chosen ones, the body is a passing vehicle, but the spirit is the eternal truth. Honoring those who have passed on is a way of remembering that we are also much more than the physical, that our true nature is spiritual and eternal. By recognizing this, the chosen ones feel stronger to face life's difficulties, because they know that in the end, what really matters is the evolution of the soul. The chosen have a special responsibility to preserve and honor the legacy of their ancestors. On the Day of the Dead, they recognize that they are part of a lineage that carries wisdom, values, and teachings that have been passed down from generation to generation. This mission to preserve the ancestral legacy is a commitment that the chosen take on with respect and devotion. Consider the story of a young chosen one who discovers that his great-grandfather was known for his compassion and for helping the community in times of need. He feels that this value has been passed down to him, and on the Day of the Dead, when he sets up an altar in honor of his great-grandfather, he promises to follow in his footsteps by helping those in need. He understands that this is a way of keeping his great-grandfather's spirit alive, of perpetuating a legacy of kindness and love. For the chosen ones, the Day of the Dead is an opportunity to reaffirm their commitment to the spiritual mission they have inherited. Honoring the ancestors is also a way of recognizing that, throughout their journey, they rely on the strength and wisdom of those who came before. This is the true legacy that the chosen ones carry, the responsibility to transform the lessons of the past into actions that make a difference in the present and inspire future generations. Many chosen ones report feeling the presence of their ancestors throughout their lives, as if they were guided by an invisible force that protects and guides them. On the Day of the Dead, this presence becomes even more noticeable, like a silent embrace from those who have gone, but who continue to watch over us from where they are. One example is that of a chosen one, who, when facing a difficult time in her life, dreams of her grandfather, who died when she was still a child. In the dream, he advises her and gives her the strength to face the challenges ahead. When she wakes up, she feels that her grandfather was really there, that somehow he is still looking after her. On the Day of the Dead, as she prepares an offering in his honor, she feels a deep peace, as if he were there by her side, offering comfort and guidance. For the chosen ones, this invisible presence of the ancestors is a source of courage and confidence. Knowing that they are not alone, that there is a network of protection and love that supports them, helps them to face challenges with more serenity. The Day of the Dead is therefore a celebration of this presence that never abandons us, an opportunity to give thanks for this invisible protection that accompanies us. The longing we feel for those who have gone is proof that true love never disappears. It lives on within us, in our memories and in our hearts. For the chosen ones, this longing is a link that connects them to their ancestors, a way of keeping them alive and present in their lives. A young chosen one, when she misses her mother, finds comfort in remembering the moments they spent together. She realizes that this longing is an expression of love that lives on, and that by remembering her mother, she is honoring her presence and keeping her memory alive. On the Day of the Dead, when she sets up an altar for her, she feels that this longing is a form of communion, a space where the barriers between the visible and the invisible disappear, and where they can both be together again. For the chosen ones, longing is a reminder that love is not limited by time or distance. This feeling, which can be painful, is also a form of healing, a way of maintaining the bond with those we love and who continue to live on through us. Each Day of the Dead offers the chosen ones the opportunity to reconnect with their ancestors and renew their commitment to their mission. By honoring those who have passed on, the chosen ones reinforce the purpose they carry and feel that they are fulfilling something greater, which transcends their individual lives. One chosen one who, by honoring his deceased uncle, feels that he is, in a way, living for him. This uncle always wanted to pursue a career in music, but never had the chance. The chosen one, by pursuing his own dreams, feels that he is fulfilling something that also belongs to his uncle. He realizes that his mission is also a way of honoring the wishes and dreams of those who came before. This is the deeper meaning of the Day of the Dead for the chosen ones. Communion with the ancestors is not just a celebration, but a silent pact to carry on what they started. On this special day, we feel a link that connects us directly to the knowledge of those who have gone before us, a chance to learn from their successes and challenges, understanding that their experiences continue to echo in our own journey. For the chosen ones, accessing this wisdom is like listening to silent advice that has been passed down over time, as if each ancestor were by our side, guiding our steps with a sacred purpose. One example is that of a man who, while setting up an altar to his grandmother, reflects on the lessons she shared during her life. She always emphasized that patience and compassion are the greatest virtues, especially in times of adversity. As he remembers these words, he realizes that these qualities have been passed on and are now an essential part of who he is. He understands that by living these teachings, he honors his grandmother's memory and strengthens his own mission to practice love and empathy. For the chosen ones, this moment becomes a true spiritual lesson, where each ancestral story is a lesson and each memory a piece of advice. Through this connection, they find inspiration and strength to face their challenges, carrying with them the accumulated wisdom of their lineages. In this sacred encounter, we are reminded that love is an eternal energy, something that never fades. Those who have departed have left their mark on our hearts, and their presence lives on, transcending time and space. For the chosen ones, this bond is a certainty. They know that even if the body is not present, the love they shared with their ancestors accompanies them at every step. A chosen one, for example, lights a candle in memory of her father. As she gazes into the flame, she feels a peace that reminds her of the warm embrace he used to give her. This memory brings comfort and strength, a feeling that he is there, not physically, but in spirit. For her, this love is an invisible bridge that unites them and helps her to move on. This moment becomes an opportunity to remember that true love doesn't end. It continues, renewed in every gesture, in every thought, in the whispers of the heart. For the chosen ones, this is proof of eternal life and the continued presence of those we love, a spiritual bond that strengthens and gives us the courage to carry on. Missing those who are no longer with us is a deep feeling. But for the chosen ones, this longing is also a force that drives them. This seemingly eternal emptiness is actually filled with meaning when we understand that their presence remains alive in our memories and in every teaching they left behind. Longing then becomes a silent call to honor that love. A young chosen one, thinking of his mother, feels that nostalgia is a way of preserving her memory and keeping her teachings alive. He remembers how kind and compassionate she was to everyone around her, and, inspired by these qualities, seeks to follow the same path. For him, this longing is a reminder that although she is no longer physically by his side, her spirit lives on in every act of kindness he performs. In this moment of communion, the chosen ones discover that nostalgia is more than a pain. It is an eternal bond that connects them to the departed. This feeling becomes a constant reminder that love survives distance, and that by remembering those we love, they are still present in us, guiding our steps and lighting our way. In times of remembrance and reflection, the chosen ones feel a deep commitment to continue the legacy of their ancestors. This connection is not just an act of respect, but a pact with the roots that sustain their purpose. Those who came before left us their stories, their lessons, and their virtues, and it is up to the chosen ones to honor and strengthen this legacy. Think of a woman who discovers that her great-grandmother was a respected leader in her community. As she reflects on this story, she feels a calling to continue this work of helping and guiding others. That day, as she sets up the altar with a portrait of her great-grandmother, she vows to dedicate herself to a similar purpose, carrying with her the spirit of service and leadership that she has inherited. This commitment to the ancestral legacy is a force that motivates the chosen ones to live with integrity and wisdom. They know that by honoring the qualities of those who have gone before them, they are strengthening their own roots and cultivating fertile soil for the next generations to flourish. In moments of communion, many chosen ones report feeling a silent but constant presence from their ancestors, as if they were being guided by an invisible force that protects and guides them. They know that they are not alone on their journey, because every step is supported by those who have gone before them and who, in some way, continue to look after them. One chosen one shares that, in times of uncertainty, he feels a sense of peace and security when he remembers his grandfather, someone who has always been a figure of wisdom in his life. When he lights a candle in honor of him, he feels his protection renewed and a trust arises in his heart. He believes that his grandfather is there, offering him the strength to face his own challenges. For the chosen ones, this presence is a reminder that, even in times of loneliness, their ancestors are with them. This certainty strengthens them and helps them to move forward more confidently, because they know that they are being guided and protected by those who love them, albeit from an invisible plane. The chosen ones understand that the body is only a temporary form, a vehicle that the soul uses to express itself in this world. This moment of homage to the ancestors brings the reminder that the true essence goes beyond matter, and that what makes us unique and eternal resides in the spirit, not in the body. By remembering a departed family member, the chosen ones understand that physical absence is not the end, but a transformation. They know that the spirit of that person continues to exist in a dimension where the body is no longer needed. This understanding helps them to see death with serenity, as a return to essence, a liberation. This vision brings deep peace to the chosen ones, because they know that they are much more than physical bodies, and that one day they too will leave behind this material garment to return to what is eternal. This understanding of the body as a passing instrument helps them to live with more intensity and purpose, making the most of every moment while they have the opportunity to express their mission on this plane. In this encounter between worlds, the chosen ones experience a communion with the invisible, where the barriers between the physical and the spiritual seem to disappear. The memories of their ancestors come alive, and the love they feel for them becomes a palpable energy, a force that inspires them to move forward. A woman who feels her mother's presence, even after her departure, finds in her memories a guide for her own life. Every piece of advice, every gesture of affection, every word of encouragement she received from her is present in her memory and serves as a guide for her decisions. By honoring her, she feels that this presence is a manifestation of the eternal love that unites their souls. For the chosen ones, memories are not just memories, but proof that true love never fades. Every thought and every memory is a way of keeping alive the connection with those who have gone before, an invisible link that supports and guides them on their journey. For those who feel the call of mission, the ancestral presence is a constant that gives them strength and purpose. They know that by honoring their ancestors, they are not just recovering memories, but connecting with an energy that helps them fulfill their purpose. In this moment of celebration, they find the meaning of their own lives, which are a continuation of the lives of those who came before. Imagine a chosen one who discovers the story of an ancestor who dedicated his life to teaching, passing on precious knowledge to his community. By following the same path, he feels that he is fulfilling an old desire, as if he is continuing the work that his ancestor started. This sense of belonging gives him the strength to continue his mission, knowing that he is honoring a legacy that transcends time. For the chosen ones, this feeling of continuity and purpose is proof that their lives are part of an eternal cycle of love and learning, where each generation contributes to the growth of the next. By fulfilling their mission, they know that they are keeping alive the ancestral flame that illuminates their path and that of those who will follow. For the chosen ones, loss and separation are more than mere goodbyes. They represent the continuity of an eternal purpose. On the spiritual path, grief is a powerful reminder that the soul is growing, learning to let go and love in a higher way. Mourning, with all its phases, is an invitation to strengthen faith and the connection with higher planes. Some chosen ones feel intense longing, sadness, or even anger, while others are in a state of denial, searching for meaning in the midst of emptiness. It is natural and necessary to experience each of these phases, as they are part of a profound journey of healing and transformation. But for the chosen ones, there is something greater that sustains them: the certainty that death is just a transition, a new chapter in the soul's journey. Spiritual evolution, both for those who stay and for those who leave, depends on finding peace and acceptance. When grief lingers and the heart is unable to release the pain, the chosen one can feel the weight of an energy that belongs not only to them, but also to the departed loved one. At times like these, spiritual support becomes essential. The gospel at home, prayer and working with energies of peace are valuable tools for overcoming grief with hope and purpose. Remember, chosen one, that death is not the end. Those who have departed are still alive in our memories, in our hearts, and in the dimensions of the spirit. Reunion is certain, and until that day comes, love continues to flow, invisible and eternal, like an unbreakable bond. Your pain is understood, and through it, your soul is strengthened. May your path be guided by the light of peace and acceptance, knowing that, in eternity, the bonds of love are never broken. Today, our ancestors look at us with pride, reminding us that every step we take is a reflection of everything they have lived through and overcome. They whisper to us to keep going, to be strong, and to remember that we are never alone. As a chosen one, your journey is protected and guided by a spiritual lineage that never breaks. In the comments, share the name of an ancestor you would like to honor, or a story that represents this connection. Let's together strengthen this chain of gratitude and respect for those who came before and lit the way for us.